you share in our group, please?
Yeah, let me just get it done.
Not yet.
I just want to get it ready.
Okay. It's okay. Hold on.
It's done.
Yeah, it's me. Yep, not yet. All right. Just waiting until I see it. Just give me a second.
Cool, no problem.
Okay. And then, Lex, I just had a question as well. How old are you?
I'm 15.
Wow. You are much younger than I thought. Okay. That's completely fine. I was told 17, 18.
Yeah.
You're almost there. It's okay.
Yeah. I actually get that a lot.
It's because you're tall, right?
I'm probably like 5'7", 5'8", probably around that.
You're tall. That's what that means. I'm 5'4". I'm so short. I do not look 27. All right, so we're going to share the show. We are going to start with a 30-second countdown to the show.
Cool.
I'm going to come back. I'll introduce me, the show, yourself, and we'll go from there, okay?
Cool.
All right. Talk to you soon. We're going to do a 30-second countdown. Good evening, everyone. Today is Tuesday, September 17th, 2024. Welcome to the Dani Perro Show. We're here in this home studio tonight. We are so excited to welcome one of my official guests being here tonight. I have Lex Bauman. Lex, I do appreciate your time being here, especially, school and everything. But obviously being a musician is what you want to do and what you look to portray with your career. Yeah. So this is the path we're going to stay at. So I appreciate your time for being here today.
Oh, yeah. I'm super glad to be here. And thank you for inviting me to the show.
Yes. We will have you in studio next time for sure. I promise. Where are you from exactly? Are you from, because I know you have some shows coming up in Ohio.
So I'm located in Columbus, Ohio. So mainly I play shows around Ohio just so it's a little bit easier, but I'm wanting to expand a little bit farther out.
Okay. So when you're around our area, mid New York, New Jersey area, then we can definitely have you come in studio for sure. That's definitely really exciting on your part. But I just wanted to make sure we get started with the show. So I'm curious for yourself. If you wanted to let me know for yourself when you first officially got started in music, how old were you? Do you feel like you got into music? It was something you really liked to do, even if it was just something you were singing, humming at a certain age?
So music pretty much like from day one, like music was all around my house when I was born. But I think what really made me want to pursue like guitar and all of this stuff was when I was 9. I moved to Columbus and I just had some friends in Columbus and they wanted to start a band.
Okay.
And then I wanted to be a part of that band. So I said, I'll play guitar for you guys. So I just started taking lessons and I just loved playing guitar. And then I later figured out, like when we had our first band rehearsal, no one really knew their parts, but I just loved music. So I just kept on going with it.
So when you were getting the opportunity to just, get a chance to work with your band or see where you saw yourself and exactly where you felt like this was something you wanted to do next in your life, do you feel like there was something pulling at you where like you wanted to do something more different than being in a band? Like, did you see yourself doing solo? Did you want to just continue being in the band? Did you want to change your music?
So I always kind of knew what I wanted to do, but I just had to kind of define it in a way. But I thought it would be cool to be in a band, but then I realized I wanted to really be in charge of my band and have like know where the direction is going. So that's really where that went.
Okay. So when you got the chance to meet with your band, your friends and family that you were a
Yeah.
part of, how many pieces was the band that you first started out with when you were younger?
Like when I first started, like just with my buddies and like just
Yes.
when I
Yeah.
was
Like how many was it in your band altogether?
oh, like it was like it was probably like 3, but it
Okay.
really wasn't serious. It was kind of like when it was just a couple of friends just trying to have some fun. But
Were you doing covers and such as well?
yeah, I started out with covers. But I started doing like covers, like actually trying to be in a band, like just trying to give me experience. Like my dad like played guitar for me and my uncle played drums.
Oh
And
wow.
then
Okay. So your
so
family
like
helped.
yeah, so like they were very supportive of that. And then they would help me out and just we played shows together like for the longest time, like probably I at 10 and then to 14. And then I at 15 started doing like the While We're Still Young stuff and all of the stuff that you've seen.
Of what you're posting as
Yeah.
opposed to Taylor Swift?
Yeah. Yeah. And then like my band, that's totally new. And I'm so thankful to have that band. They're an amazing band.
So then let's talk a little bit about first when you got interested in the band with your friends. Like you were just thinking about like an idea and maybe you made it happen. But what would you say did you kind of look into inspiration wise for you to be like, hey, let's do a band? Like where did that come from? Were you watching anything? Were you talking? Or was it like
Probably at that point, like I was just looking at like the White Stripes, like I love them. So like just some of those bands that like I just saw on TV and just looked up to. But
okay?
I think now, like some of like my influences, like I really look up to Tuck Smith. He's my producer. And then I look up to Butch Walker. He's an amazing songwriter and performer that I look up to like for writing inspiration and stuff. So I think that kind of shifted in a way.
What about artists that you feel like you would look up to for inspiration to write a certain type of music that you have?
I
Like
like Cheap Trick. Like I look up to
Yeah.
them because like I very much invested like with the power pop type music.
Okay.
So I look up to like those type of artists.
Power pop. Can you give me a little bit more information about that?
Yeah.
Is that,
So
is that like a newer genre?
so it's like it's almost like rock music, but like with pop like melodies.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
So,
that's
like,
definitely something new in the era of music scene.
it's actually so like Cheap Trick like was from the 70s. So like this thing like power pop's been a thing for a long time, but it really hasn't been done in a while. So
Probably been phased out and now it's
yeah.
back. Yeah.
So I really want to start doing that. So like I really want to do power pop. So I think this is a great time to do it.
Okay. I think that's awesome. I mean, there's definitely different things that you can do with
Yeah.
yourself. Looks like we have some fans as well tuning in, so you're more than welcome to, comment with them as well, and interact with them so they can get to know you as well. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure. But I'm curious as to when you first got interested in music. We talked a little bit about some of the inspirations and all your friends coming together. Like, hey, let's do a band. Shortly after this band didn't, I'm sure it's still continued, but it's a different band you currently have now, correct? Or is it still the same one?
It's a totally different band. Like the first one that we like tried to create like when I was 9, it really wasn't that serious. Like no one took lessons or anything. But I went out of the way to like because I just love music, so I just went out of the way to start learning guitar. But I have a totally different new band now.
Okay. Did you teach yourself guitar or did you take lessons for guitar?
I took lessons for guitar.
And do you feel like when you got a chance to do more guitar in the band, you obviously you're growing up still, maturing as well. But do you feel like you're learning a lot more of the music scene from when you were younger?
Oh yeah, like now like I'm learning so much about like the music industry. Like I'm so thankful to like just know all of this, but like it's super interesting, like just to figure out about all of this stuff.
Like it's just different things you're learning about, and still to this day you will definitely be learning about, but it's more of just it's a different wide spectrum, I should say.
Yeah.
In the industry. And I guess it also depends of what you consider your genre. If it's a power pop, like you had mentioned previously, and you got the inspiration from Cheap Trick and everyone kind of mid 70s.
Yeah.
Now, did you also grow up listening to that music? Where you're like, was your mom and dad also fans of that music? Like, did you hear it when you were younger?
You know,
like, I like this, or how did that come in the scene?
So my dad, like he just he's very much invested into the like just loving music. So like I got to hear like all sorts of music because like he is not stuck to one genre. Like this is the only thing I like.
Okay.
So like I got to listen to so much when I was young.
So do you know what type of variety that you listened to? Was it like 90s, 80s, 70s, 60s?
I really love all type of music.
Okay.
Like I'm open to all.
Yeah. So you kind of got an idea of all of it.
Yeah.
And the 70s is kind of where your heart's pulling at. Also, it's nice to bring it back because, like I said, it definitely feels like it has been phased out since Cheap Trick. And it's just nice that we can make music not die, always make it live again with that opportunity. So I think that's kind of cool at the same time. And while you're playing guitar and learning different chords and stuff like that, you could do a lot of stuff that sounds super similar to back then.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm sure that's stuff you're teaching yourself probably now.
Yeah.
And like, I want to do this chord like absolutely perfect, but I need to put my flair on it.
Yes. So like even when we're writing some of these songs, like we might look at like a Cheap Trick song to take inspiration from, but then we might look at early 2000 song as inspiration. So like we really just go all across the board like with some of that stuff. So like 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, like
so you do all of them. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's kind of where you feel like you grow.
Yeah, so we've gotten like a bunch of comments saying like I can hear this, I can hear that. And like you can hear all of those parts, but like we pretty much somehow we put all of these influences to one song.
And that's probably something that was inspiration you got doing it, but also was that hard creating it?
It's a lot of mental strength to like write a good song, but it really doesn't take that long, but it just takes a lot of personalities and stuff like that.
So let me ask you this. Talk to me a little bit about when you are writing a song. What comes to you first? Music or lyrics?
So it kind of depends on like the vibe of the song we're trying to do, because it really depends, because if like my producer wants to write something like, okay, I want to have a lyric so we can get started, or we want to start out like with a guitar riff. It really depends on that, but then we just keep on building on like past experiences, like with lyrics.
Okay.
And then
any like certain situations, breakups, friendships.
Yeah, like that.
It's kind of like all inspiration every musician uses in their life. It just it helps build yourself and your character as a musician. I think another huge big part of it for yourself, just because you're also growing and learning a lot in the industry at a young age, is you never know what's next in your career. Like you're doing pop type of situation now, and you might lean more into a little bit of rock and roll, especially with your hair being long. That's definitely something I was like, wait, who's my guest? Because I was showing you at my my job, and my coworker, and she was like, he's not a rock and roll artist. I was like, no, but he has long hair, so he's playing that. So there's different things you can do. Just your certain like, being yourself. You can do things that you're probably looking to experiment and do. And I think a lot of it is also part of, you are a student, right? You're currently in school. How do you feel like you're balancing being a student, your education with being a musician and like gigs and like not trying to miss up homework or, big important projects that are due? How does that feel when you are playing a song or on stage?
On stage, or do you mean like how do I balance like the school stuff?
Well, both. So how do you balance the school stuff as
Mhm.
opposed to when you're on stage?
Okay, so
That makes
how I
sense.
balance this, how I balance the school stuff. I did go to in person last year, but
Okay.
I really didn't have that much time to focus on my education as much because there was just so much going on. So now I'm doing like an online school like at my own pace so I can get like the grades that I want and still be like doing the music stuff like successfully. So I'm super thankful to have that.
I think that's incredible.
Yeah.
And that's really hard though to balance at the same time. Now you said you were doing in school
Yeah.
last year. What is this year? Are you in school? Are you homeschool?
I'm
What do you-
homeschool right now.
Okay. That's
Yeah, so like
probably a
self-paced.
little bit better to
Yeah.
get a chance to just understand the time a day that you have for both, right? As
Yeah.
opposed to like you can focus on your studies and then focus on your gigs
Yeah.
at the same time, just so it's a little bit easier. Now, where did that come up in conversation for yourself? Was it like it was just too hard last year where like the education just didn't seem like it was good and it's better now
Um
so you can
grades
focus?
grades weren't as good last year, but
Okay.
and I had to like be like out of school maybe for like a week this week, then I have to be out this week, so it was really tough because you don't get unlimited days to get out of school.
I don't
So
think you get that at all
yeah.
as a person in school. You have to be in
Yeah.
school every single day. Only
Yeah,
get a
so
snow day if it snows outside.
yeah,
That's
you
your only
don't
day off
you really don't get that,
for
like,
breaks.
you really don't get that, so it was very tough with that, but now it's a lot easier because it's self-paced school now, so it's pretty good.
Do you see yourself, besides being a musician, doing any acting, dancing, being a triple threat in the industry?
You know, I'm super open to that, like, I'm focusing on the music stuff, but I'm
Okay.
open to whatever.
Okay. So you don't know kind of where you see yourself yet. Like if there's an
I
audition or something that comes up and somebody contacts you or your dad,
Mhm.
you're excited to kind of hear more about it, but you probably would like to know more, obviously, information.
Yeah, so, like, I'm, focused on, like, my music career right now,
Okay.
but, um, I'm really open to, like, acting and stuff. So, that's not, like, my main priority, like, acting, but I am not opposed to it.
But acting is part of your music videos,
Oh, yeah. So, I
right?
actually never
So
thought about
you're
that. Yeah.
exactly. So you're
Yeah.
kind of already doing the
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, you can add that to your resume as a musician.
Yeah.
Because you're filming yourself acting and playing a certain part of what you want to be in your music video, and that's something that you still have experience for, even if you didn't think you did.
Mhm.
I think a lot of us forget some things that we put out there. And you're
Yeah.
like, oh wow, I already did that. I slipped my mind. I
Yeah.
wasn't sure that I had done something like that. So yeah, you already did the acting, and
Yeah, I never
I
really
think
thought
you
about that.
dance a little too. Didn't you dance in Taylor Swift music video?
You know, it was super weird because when I was doing the Taylor Swift video, it was, like, a big budget video, so, like, we had all these cameras and stuff,
Okay.
but it felt so weird because it was do you know the thing called imposter syndrome? It
Imposter syndrome.
Yeah, so you don't even believe that all this is happening. So, like,
Okay.
it's just shocking because, like, how did I get here? It's, like,
Okay.
almost like one of those
Yeah. Like
situations.
it's mind
Yeah,
blowing.
because it felt
Yeah.
like I'm just on my couch playing guitar, but now I'm doing this, video. So, like,
Yeah.
it was really cool to do that.
That's incredible. So actually, my next question. So Taylor Swift was a newer release that you
Yeah.
previously had. When did you release it?
I think it was released in August, maybe? I'm not
This year?
exactly sure.
This year,
Yeah,
right?
this year.
2024. Okay.
Mhm.
And about the song, if anybody's tuning in and they're like, hey, what is the song about? How would you describe it?
This song is about like the bad boy wanting to get like the preppy girl, like almost in that sense, because it's not about Taylor Swift. It's about this girl that this person's wanting to have be their girlfriend. It's really because I've gotten that a lot. Like, why is this about Taylor Swift? Because it's just about the girl loving Taylor Swift.
So she has a certain like for Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
And what does it mean to what does it mean to the jock? The guy wanting the preppy girl? Like, does it mean that he wants to give her Taylor Swift? Like what is your mentality in the music video that you were kind of explaining?
So it's all about it's almost like a classic type of thing that like the girl wants the bad boy, but is not like exactly like the is not the like the guy's not the jock, because like even in the line like what is it, like I know your friends like think I'm trouble or something like that. It just kind of shows that
Yep.
this guy's not really invited in, but like they both like each other.
So Romeo and Juliet situation, kind of, no?
Yeah, almost like that. Almost. Yeah, that's actually a good way to frame it.
Pretty much. Very, very Shakespeare related. Oh my gosh. That's awesome. So yeah, so then where do you feel like, because this is the newest release that you previously just had as well this year, where do you feel like your inspiration does come from? Because as we said, you're homeschooled. I'm sure you get a chance to research some stuff when you're home, or just get an idea of, hey, I wrote this song. I just needed an idea of how the music video will make it look amazing and boost the song. But it's curiosity as to what you could do next.
Mm-hmm. What do you mean, like do next? Like, can you kind of expand?
Sorry, I mean, as opposed to with Taylor Swift, how did the music video come about when you wrote it? That's what I was talking
about. Oh, okay. So when
I use a little bit big words.
Oh, it's all right.
Like probably confusing the crap out of you.
When we were writing the song, we could already envision the video like just happening like in our heads, because everybody in the writing room was like just saying, I know exactly what this video is going to look like. So we already had an idea for the video.
Okay. So you discussed it with like your family and friends?
Yeah. And like my producer, Tuck Smith, like
so there was like talk about it.
Yeah, there was a lot of talk about the video.
And what you could do next, and kind of like what you maybe see yourself doing next.
Yeah, so we released a few other songs after Taylor Swift and some other videos. We're working on a few others right now, but it's a really cool experience, like just doing all of that.
So let's talk a little bit about your newest EP that you previously released as well. How many tracks do you have on it?
So the EP isn't released. So it's a little bit of a
weird... So it's in the works. So it's not released yet, but we can discuss it.
Yeah, we can discuss this. So like if you go to my shows, we have like some just hard copies of like my EP.
Okay.
It has 6 tracks on it, but it's not going to be released to Apple or Spotify. But we are working on a record right now to have like 10 songs.
Okay.
And be like a complete record, and then that will be on like Apple and Spotify.
So your EP is you starting out, correct?
Yeah.
As a band, and also getting your foot in the door for people that come to your shows and support you. They can get an EP, be like, okay, I just heard Lex Bauman.
Yeah.
I have his now EP that I can play like in my car or something.
Yeah.
And like if somebody wants it digitally, obviously it won't be digitally until the next step, which would be an EP. I'm sorry, an album, right? Because this is an EP. So that'd be an album.
Yeah.
It'd be nice. Yeah. So with that being said, though, on your website, because you have contact information, isn't there ways for people to purchase the EP? Or is there only like so many hard copies created?
So we made it so like people that go to the shows like can get like the hard copies. So like it's a little bit rare to find. And then like there's,
and it's nice to have a copy though, because everything is digitally. I was just telling Chris, I was like, we love listening to albums in our car. I feel an old person saying that, and people are like, what? But I don't know. Instead of listening to the radio, a CD in my car is like refreshing.
Yeah.
And the fact that you're 15 and you're giving out hard copies of like CDs, your dad raised you right. You're good in that situation, because it's hard for people to get that type of stuff too.
You know, I love record stores and all of that stuff. So like some of my records are just at like some of the record stores that I just love going to. And it's really cool that like I can just share this like in an old school type of way.
Yeah. And it's something that's like kind of like exciting, you know, at the same time, where like I still said, you learned a lot from your father, it looks like, in the industry as well. Did he grow up? Was he a musician as well?
Yeah.
He was.
Mm-hmm.
What did he do?
He's a guitar player. He taught me a lot about the music industry.
You're very young to know this much. I'm very proud of you. Yeah. You're good for an interview as well. Like, you're very like set back, explanatory. He probably was like, this is going to be an interview. This is what you have to do. You know, he coached you.
Yeah. So like my dad like coached me like from the beginning, like just trying to get me ready for like how the actual music industry works, like getting me ready for like to work with producers and the songwriters. And
now, yes, it is a very hard business being young. Do you understand more of the downfall where people say no, but it doesn't affect you in your career?
Oh yeah, that's a part of the gig.
All right. I just want to make sure. I was like, I don't want to just bring that up to you, because I don't want you to be like, what do you mean no? Just because, you know, everybody should be used to that. And even in the acting industry, that's also a huge part of it too, where you got to get used to that big NO and just ignore it and go to the next thing.
Yeah, it really, that's like one of the most important things, like to be able to take no.
And I think another big part of it too is any certain type of situation that you find yourself in learning for yourself, make a song about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, make a song about what we were just talking about, that people aren't used to hearing no in the industry, especially music industry. Other people that are starting out much younger than yourself.
Yeah.
You know, you could teach them.
Mm-hmm. So really, like with the music industry, like writing a song, it's very like you can make an amazing song if you have like an experience that you can go off, because if you don't have one, or it doesn't even have to be about you just have to have like a storyboard a little bit. You can't, I think like the best songs come from experience.
They do.
Yeah,
they definitely do. Now, a question for you, for one of your fans, Ella, that is keep consistently commenting on the post and show as well. She says she has seen you in concert as well. Is she prior from Ohio? Have you played anywhere else from Ohio?
You know, I'm so thankful you guys showed up at the show. That show, we did this thing that was, let me explain. So it's this show, it was in Marietta, Ohio. Okay. It actually got rained out.
Wow.
Okay. We were playing on, like they closed off the streets, like on like the downtown part of Marietta. And it was this whole big event. And there was actually, super funny, there was a Taylor Swift tribute show playing after.
Okay, that's kind of awesome at the same time.
So
that's because of your one track. Okay, continue.
Yeah, so like we had like an hour and 30 minutes worth of material, and it just started pouring down the rain, just pouring like in the middle of our set. Like lightning started to happen, like, and like we had like 40 seconds of the last song, and they were about to say like, you got to shut this off, like this is just mandatory, but like we got through the set and it was like we had immediately unplug everything.
Yeah, so you don't get electrocuted.
Yeah, because we were playing in the middle of the street.
Okay, yeah, so it was outside.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's scary. I mean, that's kind of like exciting and adrenaline rush for sure, but like at the same time, you don't want to get electrocuted as a musician.
Yeah, I wasn't even worried about the lightning. I was just worried that they were going to shut it down.
Yeah,
because,
I was
like,
saying that you were awesome in concert. Like you were amazing. I guess you said even in
you.
the rain. And talk to me a little bit about your set. When you go on for your set previously, like you're coming up, I think you have a show coming up in Ohio this month. Is it next month?
Yeah, so I'm opening for Everclear at the House of Blues on October 16th.
Okay.
Yeah, that's gonna be a blast. Like, I'm so grateful to have that show. Like, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
So, how long are your sets normally when you're booked?
So for
Make them?
that one, it's gonna be like 20-25 minutes, but we can do like 45 minutes or an hour, like hour 30. So it kind of ranges, like depending what we're doing.
Okay, so we just have to kind of get you more to the Eastern Standard Coast area, New York, New Jersey area. Try to see if we can talk to your dad and see if you can do some type of shows here or anything. And
oh yeah, that would be awesome.
Or even get you in the studio. That would be nice too.
Yeah.
Performing live. Just so you have the fun, performing live on the show, and then coming back down to sit and interview, and then going back to perform. It's kind of exciting at the same time. And that's a huge adrenaline rush because it'll just show so much as opposed to the interview for yourself, right? Because these are interviews that are obviously for you and your career of where you see yourself going next and what you want to promote with your career as well.
Yeah.
So what do you feel like you see next for yourself?
I very much want to get like on a tour, like with someone, or it would be amazing if I would headline the tour, but I really want to get on some type of tour.
Okay. Who do you see yourself maybe touring with or opening up for? That's what you're saying, right? For on their tour.
Yeah. I would love to open up for like White Reaper. They're an amazing band. I'm trying to think because there's so many bands that like
give me
that are
five.
amazing. Five.
And where you think you could see yourself, be like, oh yeah, I just booked this.
So definitely like White Reaper. I would want to open for like Tuck Smith. He's my producer. I would love to do that. Marvelous 3. That's Butch Walker's band. And then like American Hi-Fi, they're a big influence on me. And then Everclear, they're having me open for that show, and it's gonna be great.
House of Blues, you said, right? When is it?
Yeah, October 16th in
Cleveland.
So
it is next month.
Yeah,
not this month, next month. Yeah, October.
Yeah.
And when we talk a little bit about your album, your EP, your hard copy that you give out during shows, is that the one where it gives you a certain 20s throwback, 2000s throwback as well? I think something like with Avril Lavigne or something was mentioned.
So,
or is that working with the new album? I just don't want to get mixed up.
Yeah, really, like there's just so many influences on that EP. Like you can hear so much on there because like I hear that, I hear that, I hear that. But there isn't like one particular thing. And I think that's what makes that EP amazing.
Kind of where you think you see yourself next. Now, say if you, for instance, were headlining, who would you want to open up for you? The same people you mentioned?
Yeah, probably the same people that I mentioned because like that's actually because then you're looking at the people that like you think are amazing and like would want because then you are the one that's like opening. Like that would be
you be the one ending the show?
Yeah, that would be crazy. Yeah, that would be crazy. Yeah.
It's nice to dream.
Yeah,
So what would you dream?
I think I would want the Marvelous 3 to open for me.
And what type of music are they? I apologize. I don't think I've heard of
A
them.
lot of the music that I'm doing, like power pop.
Okay. So they're very similar to you.
Yeah, they're a
And they
great
have
band. I would
like
definitely
great
check them out.
audience vibe, fun. You know,
Yeah,
like it'll stay fun throughout the whole night, right? Because you don't want anything to be
yeah.
boring or dead or
Oh, yeah.
anything on stage.
Yeah, I went to their Atlanta show. Like, it was one of the best shows that I've ever seen.
And when you got a chance to like see them, did you get a chance to like meet them backstage, like talk to them, anything like that?
I actually, that like this was the first time I got to go to like a VIP, like it wasn't even a VIP thing. It was just like the green room, like backstage. And it was a lot of fun because the Marvelous 3, I look up to those guys and they're a major influence.
Something that you really like.
Yeah, so like it was crazy that I got to go backstage and just meet these guys. Like, and it wasn't like one of the VIP passes. Like, it was like just actually getting to meet those guys.
Where do you feel like getting the chance, the opportunity to perform, whether it's after a school night or gigs? Do you just perform currently in Ohio? Have you traveled anywhere else prior?
Yeah, so I've done a little bit of LA stuff in West Virginia, but it's mainly
Wow.
located in
Okay.
Ohio.
So what did you do most when you were in LA? What did you get a chance? Was it like any recording?
There wasn't any recording, but it was just I did this thing a while back called Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp.
Okay.
And
So you did
so like that's where I actually met my new drummer, the person that's playing with me now, Jackson Dahl. He's a great friend, and I got to meet so many other people at Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp, like so many connections.
So with that being said, for your band, is this was 3-piece when you were 10? What is your band now? Is it still 3-piece? Is it more than that?
It's a 4-piece now.
And who is in your band besides yourself?
So it's me, Jackson Dahl, Angie Petticord, and Preston French.
And how did you get a chance to meet them, to vibe with them, to have them be in your band?
So I met Jackson at Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp, and then I actually met Angie because Jackson brought Angie to the Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp show. So like I got to meet that connection, and then it was originally supposed to be a 3-piece originally, but then Preston, he reached out to me on Instagram, and it was crazy because like it's one of those things that it's a little weird. Like you just get to meet some of these people. Like it's almost like the
like pinch me, I'm dreaming type of
thing. Yeah, that's the word that I'm trying to find.
But I got you. No problem. So continue getting the chance to meet them and, you know, vibing with them and saying, yes, I would like you to be a part of the band. Kind of how did that come up in conversation? Did you meet with them? Did you have to do auditions?
It was just based on friendship, really. Like there was not any auditions. Like
that's even better.
It was really cool because it wasn't like, oh, you need to play this part, you need to play this part. It was just based on friendship, and we all have a good time when we're together.
That's good because it's nice to have a great chemistry with your friends, and also good to stay professional and, you know, say you're in this together for the industry. You know what you want to see next, where you want to see yourself grow. That's definitely like a huge part of it. Do you feel like you would have the opportunity to take them with you on the road when you guys go on tour? Are they in school as well?
Everybody's out of school, and like I'm
because I don't. So they're all okay.
Yeah, so we're all set, and we're all wanting to make this a career, and very we all have a good time together, but we still have a very business like mind, like when we're dealing with some of that stuff.
And so they're around your age?
So Preston and Jackson are like 18 and Angie's 21.
So you're the youngest.
Yeah, so I'm the youngest out of all.
You're the baby.
Yeah.
Well, they need to make sure they take good care of you then.
Yeah.
In the industry, because I'm sure they probably have a lot of experience on their end, right? And they're teaching you as well.
Yeah, we all are pretty much at the same level, so we all are like it. No one's behind or anything, so it's really nice.
So talk to me a little bit about when you are getting ready to perform on stage.
Yeah.
And you're excited. You don't have stage fright. You got this.
Yeah. So
do you have stage fright? You don't have stage fright? What kind of happens when you're on stage?
Yeah. So what I figured out, what I figured out was if you like people, like the people that are there for the show are rooting for you. No one's like just wanting you to fail. So I always keep that in the back of my head that people like want to see you succeed. Like no one's against you. So that's why I don't have stage fright at all.
And where did that like amazing mentality, mind situation come in where it was like, you don't even have to imagine anyone in their underwear to perform?
No,
this must have been something your dad might have taught you at a young age as well.
Yeah, like I think like one of the first shows that I played, like he told me that, and it made such a difference.
Stuck with you.
Yeah, because you always want to do better, like at the next show, because you can always like take this little part from I messed that up, but then you want to get better. So that's how that really works. Is just keep on progressing and progressing.
Well, if you don't have stage fright, that's also incredible because you have like, you know, the amazing certain type where you're likely, but at the same time, not having stage fright is you're learning and accomplishing so much at a young age.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that also is growing in the industry, like we mentioned a little bit before, and also with that being said, with your band, performing with them, having more gigs with them, because I'm sure when you guys get a chance to practice, it has to be fun, doesn't it? It's like all night.
We have a blast when we're practicing because everybody lives like across the country, so we don't really get to have like the normal band practice, but everybody's super professional, so like we know our parts and we have like a day to practice.
So when you say across the country, like states within United States, like country, like
so the country. So I'm from Columbus, and then Angie and Jackson are from LA, and Preston's from Seattle. So we don't really get to have like the normal band practice like every day playing. Like I think we've played like the songs that I do probably 20 times at the most.
Okay. Is it practice more on Zoom video?
No, we just we know our parts, and then we practice at the house for a day or so, and then that's
before the gig is.
Yeah, before the gig.
So they fly out before the gig, obviously.
Yeah.
And then you practice.
Yeah.
And go from there. Did you ever have to deal with a situation when you're on stage and you say a lyric wrong, you do a chord wrong?
Oh yeah, that stuff happens every show. Like
how do you overcome it?
You know, I saw this quote from Eddie Van Halen. He said that if you mess up on stage, make it look like you meant to do it. So
you make like
so like if you mess up a note on stage, don't freak out, because then everybody knows that you freaked out. And if you do that, it's so noticeable that people that don't play any instruments, like they'll know that you messed up.
You know, that's kind of funny to me and very mind-boggling, because as a musician, when you make a mistake, it shows that you're human, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to look scripted. But at the same time, obviously you 100% want to stay professional. But I think probably a lot of musicians we all saw on stage made mistakes, but we never caught it or, you know, saw the situation, because they're super quick to be like, wow, I just did that, and then they like pick up off of it immediately. You don't notice anything.
Yeah.
So
yeah, a lot of mistakes like on stage, no one can hear like except you. Like it's a little weird because we have like these things like that. They're almost like headphones, like where we can listen to our guitars.
Oh yes, the mic,
Yeah.
like the
Yeah,
earphones, or like the wire that connect to your. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so like we
I
can
don't know
have
what they
our own.
are, but I know
Yeah,
what you're talking
they're
about.
called in-ears. So like
Oh,
we can have our own mix. So like we can hear this a little bit louder, this a little bit lower in the mix. But I know there are so many times at shows that, oh, I messed up so much, and then the other person says I messed up so much, and like you can't even, no one knows. Like even the band doesn't know that you messed up.
Well, the good part is too, if you have such a great band that's supportive and there with you, if you did make a mistake, you laugh about it afterwards.
Yeah, everybody has,
you know?
Yeah.
That's another thing.
Really, everybody has your back on stage.
That's what you want, you know, growing up in the industry and seeing kind of where you would want to go next. I know you have a lot of different, you know, you have a producer, and I'm guessing your father is your manager, dadager.
Yeah.
So he wants the best for his son, you know, for sure. And there's different ways that you can go when you're older and where you feel like you want to go next. But it's nice to be taught at a young age and shown the music industry at a young age as well, as opposed to growing up and seeing what you got yourself into that was hard for you from the beginning. You know, so it's nice to be starting off at a young age, starting when you're 15. Oh my gosh, I literally told everybody he was like 16, 17, 18. So that's insane. And you're very mature for your age as well.
Yeah, thanks. I actually, there's been a bunch of people that think I'm like an adult, but then when they figure out I'm 15, they're like, wow, I didn't know that.
Well, if you didn't tell me before we went on air, I probably would say that you were like 18, 19.
Yeah.
But I think it's just because you have so many, you have a good head on your shoulders.
Yeah.
And you're like 100% very well spoken as well.
Yeah. So like, even like talking about the music industry, like you have to be very mature to go in that, because they're going to treat you like an adult, like you're playing an adult world. You're going to be treated like that. So I think that's where a lot of the maturity came from.
Is being a musician something you feel like you would want to see yourself some long term?
Yeah, totally. Like this is my passion, and I don't want this to be a hobby. I want this to be a career.
So it takes time to get there and build yourself stronger as well. But you definitely have like a huge supportive team around you, bandmates, family, friends tuning in. I mean, Ella, one of your number one fans, she's commented throughout the whole show. She seems super supportive.
Yeah.
And one of our good friends, Alan Greenstein, as well, such a wonderful person. He's been tuning in as well to the show. And he, you know, definitely said that it takes a lot of skills and to smooth over the mistakes so that people would not notice.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's a lot of different things. But your dad definitely raised you right. You have a great head on your shoulders. I mean, I know I met him a little bit before the interview.
Yeah.
I think he just gave you the laptop and you just went outside.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if he's even tuning in. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, no, you're definitely incredible. There's a lot going on. We're coming to a little bit started the close of the show, but I did want to just give you the opportunity, if you can, give out your social media where people can find you, follow you, add you.
Yeah, so on Instagram, you can find me at Lex Bauman Guitar. On TikTok, you can find me on Lex Bauman Official, then YouTube, Lex Bauman Guitar. But I actually wanted to show this. This is like the CD of my record.
Okay, I love that. Is that the hard copy?
Yeah, this is hard copy.
Okay.
This is the thing that you can get only at shows.
Okay. And that one is called?
This is called While We're Still Young.
And that has 6 tracks.
Yeah, so it has While We're Still Young, So Long Goodbye, Taylor Swift, Rock and Roll Heart, The Last Song, and Taylor Swift Acoustic.
Okay, Ella said she liked the Taylor Swift acoustic. She
Yeah.
had commented that earlier. Now, I would like to ask you, because we're also coming to the close of the show, when you write your songs and they're portrayed as a theme on a EP and what you want it to be, you get to choose why you want the songs to be in that certain type of category. Why you want Taylor Swift to be the third one, why you want the first one to be the first one or the last one. So with that being said, your choice.
Yeah.
Where did it come from? Like, where did you feel like, hey, this is the inspiration I want?
The song list.
Yes, why you created it the way that you have it. Like, why is number one the first song and Taylor Swift is the third, or so forth down?
Oh, that's a great question. So because when you're listening to these songs, you can kind of hear like where they're supposed to go. It's almost like a puzzle that you have to piece together. Because
I love that as a musician. That's so cool and fun. I love that as a fan. Yeah.
Yeah, because you have to think about like the vibe of the song and like how it's gonna start out. Because while we're so young, like hits hard like at the beginning. So like that's why we have it at the beginning, and then So Long Goodbye is second, because it's really just how the music feels like with you, is because like when you're listening to the CD or the vinyl, like it's supposed to kind of flow together.
Okay.
So like there can't be like an incredibly slow song, then there's an incredibly fast song, then a slow song again.
Okay.
So it has to be a little bit spread out.
And what is your theme for this album? The way that you had created it, the way that you wanted it to be. This EP.
Yeah, like classic rock and roll. Like just classic rock and roll with some pop to it.
And this EP in the works, what are we looking to do with that? Is this more into the next year?
Yeah, so
2025?
Yeah, this album's gonna be awesome when it comes out. It's gonna have like all of the EP songs and then 5 more.
Okay. Oh, wow. So 6 plus 5, so 11.
Yeah, 11 songs total.
Thanks for making me do math on my own show.
Yeah, so it's gonna have 11 songs. All the songs are written now, but we haven't recorded them yet. But it's gonna be a really cool record when it comes.
Any collaborations on the album upcoming? Any like independent musicians that you're adding on to collaborate with?
So the EP was just me, Tuck, and my drummer Jackson Dahl. But now we're like gonna incorporate my like 2 other people in my band, like Angie and Preston.
Okay.
And then we're actually gonna be doing some like different songs like on the record. So like we wanted to have like a faster song and like a melody, like just something that kind of broke up the record a little bit.
Okay, so as opposed to chord change, or different types of music, different types of musical instruments, guitar, bass, drums, piano.
Yeah, so we wanted like a giant ballad for one of the songs, and then we wanted a song that we actually referenced. It was, do you know the song Ballroom Blitz by Sweet?
Yeah. Oh, of course.
Yeah, so that's.
If I said no, I think everybody would turn off my show.
So
yes,
like,
that's a very iconic song.
So that's one of the songs that we referenced because we wanted like a faster song in the record.
Okay, so you something similar to Ballroom Blitz, you kind of did.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome because you're growing and learning more outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Now, I wanted to ask you, as opposed to that, with what you're doing later down the line, do you feel like you would ever, even because you're young right now, I totally understand, but maybe more when you're older, you'd want to get like woman vocals or anything involved eventually?
Yeah, I'm really open to anything.
Like, okay, yeah. So you definitely seem like you're excited for anything that can happen.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really open to any suggestions.
Kind of see what's next in the industry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Give out your show again for next month and where people can purchase tickets. Anybody that wants to travel to Ohio to go see you.
Yeah, so I'm going to be playing at the House of Blues in Cleveland, and I'm going to be opening for Everclear at the House of Blues October 16th.
And people can purchase tickets and such there or online?
So you can get the tickets on my page. They're on Ticketmaster, so like wherever you can buy tickets. But it's gonna be a crazy show. It's gonna be awesome.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate your time today. I really had an amazing time talking to you. You are just, like I said, you have a great head on your shoulders. You're 100% mature. Nobody is going to think that you're as young as you are. Your dad raised you really well. Like, you have to give him a hug after this interview. Be like, Dad, thank you so much. I'm so mature now. I'm all grown up.
Yeah.
It's incredible. You're definitely super talented. I would love to have you in the studio if you're ever around New Jersey area.
Oh yeah.
Or if you guys want to travel as well. But so I don't know how far that is actually. How far is?
It's a little, like, it's kind of far, but we have some family in New Jersey, so it wouldn't be.
So you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then you could like schedule to like meet up with them or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, different things like that. But I was going to say it was incredible getting to know you, getting a chance to interview on the show, wishing you so much luck in the industry, where you see yourself next. And we need a copy of your CD. We want to play you on Hamilton Radio as well, even if it's the hard copy, or if you have MP3s that you can send over to Chris, we'll get you on Hamilton Radio.
That would be awesome.
Which is an independent radio station that you're on. My dad has had this station since I was born, and my sister, she's 30. I'm 27. So we'd love to play you on Hamilton Radio as well. So as long as you and your dad, we get your permission, or you want to send us your music, we'd love to play you.
Yeah, we'll get that sorted out.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
And stick around before the show ends. Well, I'm going to end the show, but stick around. Chris wants to say something to you.
Okay, cool.
Thank you all so much for tuning in. I had an amazing time. As you know, Lex Bauman, you have a lot going on for you. There's so much positivity in your path. Okay. I wish you so much luck and wealth and everything in the industry. I just wanted to say, everyone, make sure you guys tune in every Tuesday from 6:30 to 7:30 Eastern Standard Time at night PM here in New Jersey. And I will see you next week. Have a good night, everyone.